held a debate, I can't say it, held a debate, held a debate, held a debate, held a debate. A Lordstown Motors investor raises $200 million to increase production. We highlight the 13th Congressional candidate debate, and we have not one, but two stories about murals. How does that happen? Hello everyone, welcome to the Daily Buzz. I'm Mike Moliterno. We continue to watch the ongoing faculty strike at Youngstown State University. Yesterday, the president of the YSU OEA said they had made progress. Negotiations are set to resume today at 1:30 p.m. Now at this time, classes aren't being affected since YSU has been on fall break the past 2 days. But if the strike continues Wednesday, the university says it plans to conduct classes, though they didn't specify what that means. We'll of course be bringing you all the latest developments, so keep checking back. You can read all the latest in the story on our website. Now on this Tuesday, we are going to begin by talking about horses. Not the ones coming in all directions that Patti Smith was singing about, and not the ones being flown over in Buffalo Bill's favorite song, but a very specific type of horse, a workhorse if you will. You see where I'm going with this? It was a real roundabout way, but we got there. So, I can finally say Workhorse Group, which owns a 10% stake in Lordstown Motors, has raised $200 million to increase production volume. Workhorse secured the funding from two institutional lenders, it said in a release. Once the deal closes, it will have $270 million on hand that it will use to accelerate production heading into next year. Workhorse is one of a few manufacturers vying for a $6 billion contract to build electric delivery vehicles for the U.S. Postal Service. If awarded the contract, it could also be a big boost for Lordstown Motors. Lordstown Motors CEO Steve Burns, who was formerly the CEO of Workhorse, has said he wants to build the vehicles for Workhorse. The USPS has said it will make a decision on the contract before the end of the year, but many analysts say it could come well earlier, perhaps even today. Check back to businessjournaldaily.com for all the latest. Two University of Texas at El Paso research centers are coming to Youngstown to collaborate on developing new additive manufacturing and hypersonic technologies. The WM Keck Center for 3D Innovation and the NASA Murals Center for Space Exploration and Technology Research plan to expand in Youngstown and work with YSU and the new Advanced Manufacturing and Applied Research Innovation Institute, or AMARI, a sister organization of America Makes. Officials say the collaboration will also help boost opportunities for the region's tech-based businesses and defense manufacturing suppliers. AMARI was established last week as a way to connect regional partners with potential funding sources such as the Department of Defense. Now you might be surprised to hear this, but there's an election coming up. That's what all those signs are about. Tim Ryan isn't the name of the company that paved your neighbor's driveway. Christina Hagan isn't your parents' favorite contestant on Big Brother. They're two of the candidates running to represent Ohio's 13th Congressional District. Last night, Hagan, the Republican candidate, Ryan, the Democratic incumbent, and Libertarian candidate Dr. Michael Fricke held a debate at Stambaugh Auditorium. Some of the topics discussed included the economy and infrastructure. Here's a clip.
I think as we get through COVID, we're going to need a huge infrastructure bill. We're going to need to rebuild the country. And that's what Vice President Biden has said. I agree. I know we'll pass it out of the House. I think it'll determine about what the Senate looks like if Biden gets in. But it could be a huge investment.
In order for Northeast Ohio to thrive again, we need a sharp change in leadership. We need to embrace the Trump tax cuts. We need to embrace the economy that was booming prior to COVID. We need to work to reduce regulations on small businesses and ensure that they have an environment where they can thrive.
I worked a shift this morning. I worked a full shift before I came down here for this conversation. And this whole campaign has been worth it so that I could tell these two that government does not create jobs. That's not your role. No one's going to get a job because of these two. It's private industry.
You can hear more highlights and watch the full debate on our website. Now, I don't know the odds of this happening, but somehow there are two stories about murals on our website today. Yes, of all the topics in all the world, the odds of just one story about murals coming up seem pretty slim. The odds of two on the same day are astronomical, mastodonic. It seems so crazy, I almost have to believe it isn't a coincidence, but a sign of some great unforeseen force at work. Perhaps it's the sign that Zool and Vince Clortho have been waiting for. Perhaps it's a glitch in the Matrix. Either way, I'm just going to keep my head down and relay the information. You don't want to make Gozer angry. The first story comes to us from reporter Dan Heiner, and it is the story of Patrick McClone, a former fitness trainer and part-time fireman who has found a niche painting murals across the region, including this one outside the Southern Park Mall. McClone says demand for his skills has increased during the pandemic as businesses that were working from home took the opportunity to renovate.
We're just adding a little bit of flair to make it pop out. We're going to be adding a 3D red drop shadow and a red border around the entire rectangle.
You can read more and watch the full video in the story on our website. Our second mural story is about local artist Bob Barco, whose newest piece of work is dressing up the former State Theater building in downtown Youngstown. On Friday, Barco began work on the project by projecting his image onto the facade and tracing it. Once it's complete at the end of the month, it will be joined by a reproduction of Barco's Here in Youngstown mural, which will be mounted on the fencing next to the building. Barco says he raised $11,000 to cover the cost of the project. And that is going to do it for today's Daily Buzz. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave us a comment. If you'd like to dive deeper into any of these stories, the links are available in the description. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Mike Moliterno. Somehow, there are 2 stories about murals on our website today.
This is it! This is the sign!
717 Credit Union is paying it forward because we care about our business community. We are offering 6 months of free ACH and domestic wire services through small business payments when you open a free e-business checking account. 717 Credit Union. We are here for your business.